Then view, and then I'm gonna switch this to this one so that you just see me, and then I just do the post production on this side.
Cool.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Hacks and Hobbies, and today we're diving into the ever evolving world of digital marketing with a focus on meta ads. Used to be known as Facebook ads. Now, our guest is Carol Kabaale, a seasoned marketing strategist and meta ads expert who's dedicated to helping entrepreneurs, especially women, grow their businesses through value driven and authentic campaigns. Carol has a passion for simplifying complex marketing strategies to help business owners create genuine connections with their audiences. Carol, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Janaid. What a great time. I almost didn't recognize myself. I did all of that. That's so cool.
I know, right? We have such a bad memory for to remember what we actually did, and because we're constantly growing, we're constantly doing new things, right? And
Yeah.
it's our past is so well defined because we've come through such a beautiful journey. So
Yes.
yeah,
I
it's really
completely
fun to
agree.
listen to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You
fun to
almost like,
listen
was
to
that
other
really me?
people. Yeah, exactly. Like, whoa,
Couldn't have
that
been
must be
me.
somebody important. That's me. No,
I
absolutely.
know.
Yeah. So, Carol, before we jump into the world of meta ads, could you tell us a
Mm.
little bit about your journey? How did you get started in marketing, and what drew you to specializing in meta ads?
So for me, it was always a lifestyle I wanted. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. That I kind of knew that I wanted the lifestyle of having the freedom and the choice,
Yeah.
because I'm a child of immigrant parents. I took a very traditional path, went to university, got a degree, got a corporate job. It was great until it wasn't. I was burnt out. I was tired. I was
I wonder.
exhausted. I was not earning enough money, aren't we all? And I just knew that there had to be more, right? So, with that in mind, I set out to look for a new career. And in my current job of business development, I just knew that I wanted to do more of the marketing. And I
Mm,
stumbled across Facebook ads at the time. And what I really loved about it is really what I still love about it to this day is that you're able to take someone's message
yeah.
and amplify it and truly let them be found with the people who need them the most. And that felt like it was coming from a place of service for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a people person. So I was like, I love that. I want to help people. And if I can help people this way, what a great thing. So yeah, that led me to quit my job and set out to begin my first agency where we focused on running ads. So that's how I became who I am right now. Long
Nice.
story
That's
short.
really powerful. You delved into what you were really passionate about, what you really inspired you, not just inspired, but it piqued your curiosity. Like, ooh, there's something new here. And I remember back like almost 20 years ago, we were hearing that Facebook ads is coming. Facebook ads is coming. I'm like, what is that going to do? And my the company that I was working for, the marketing manager, there was like, no, this is going to
Mm,
totally change the world because he knew people who were working on that Facebook ads platform. So it's so cool that
yeah.
you found your passion into that as well.
Yeah, and I found it right before, the magic lockdown that we were all placed under.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I was really in the boom of it. So it was a great way to learn under very difficult circumstances because I was
Yeah.
like learning how to run a business and also learning this new environment. And it was sink or swim. And I think I swam. I don't know.
Yeah.
I had a life vest. I was holding on for dear life, but I made it. So yeah, great times. Would recommend, if you're feeling up for it.
No, 100%, 100%. So let's take a little deep dive into your expertise. Share with
Yeah.
us, what is it about Meta ads or Facebook and Instagram ads that makes them such a powerful tool for entrepreneurs? Now, most of the listeners here, they are entrepreneurs. And in fact, I was just having a conversation with someone yesterday, and he's like, I played around with Facebook Meta ads few years ago, and we entered again like very recently. He's like, it had completely
Mm.
changed, and he's like, oh my god, this is like a foreign land. So talk to me about what are some of the key elements that businesses should focus on so that they make these ads effective.
So, first of all, I feel your friend. Whenever I log into Facebook, they've changed something. I think that's a little joke they like to play on us marketers, like, oh, let's
Yeah.
keep you on your toes. So I can completely understand where he was feeling with that. In terms of what can businesses look for, I think it still stands to be very true in
Mm-hmm.
that you need to have a really good offer. Because here's the truth. Ads, they just amplify what you have. So if you
Mm,
have a really good funnel in place and you have a really good offer and you can deliver it really passionately and really well and get results for your audience, then you are able to amplify that, right? And just bring
yeah.
in more traffic as you scale your ads. But unfortunately, if you have a really bad offer or you have gaps in your funnel, all that running ads, regardless of the platform, all it's going to do is say, hey, we need to take a pause here because
Yeah.
people are falling off. People are not converting on the sales page. People are not opening the emails. Or people are signing up to work with this person and then the
Yeah.
delivery is awful and they're leaving terrible reviews.
Yeah.
So I think the most important step is always to have a really great offer.
I like that a lot because it's almost like you're going down this water slide and pieces are missing and people like falling through the
Right?
cracks. Like, this is dangerous. We're gonna have to shut this down before we can fix it.
Yes. Yeah. If you don't do that, like you said, you just might go and whoop. And then as entrepreneurs, we we don't like to take the blame. We're like,
Right.
no, 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 it wasn't me. I did everything right. The ads don't work. The
Hmm.
platform is broken. It's the algorithm. I'm like, is it?
Is it
Is
really?
it
No.
really? So
No.
it's really important to have that in place. I also think another point that entrepreneurs tend to not figure out is what objective do you want? And let me tell you something. I know we all want sales, okay? But
Hmm.
I need to understand beyond that because sales is like usually at the bottom of your funnel.
Yeah.
So unless you're putting your ads in front of someone who's really warm and ready to buy, you can't just run straight up conversion ads,
Hmm.
right? So what I like to say to my clients is how can we nurture and get something out? So let's run more lead generation focused ads
Hmm.
where we can at least have an email and should this rented platform that you're on, because again, people's accounts get hacked all the
All
time.
the time. Hmm.
Mr. Zuckerberg changes his mind all the time. And all these things and political things like the environment, all these things affect running ads and affect being on these
Hmm.
platforms that one doesn't own. So, as old school as it is, you might want to have an email list. You might want to have something you can control and something tangible for the ads you run.
That's such a powerful saying, especially having that email list is absolutely you know important because like you said, it is a rented land. I knew this one. I know this one friend of mine. He has about 1 million followers, and he
Yeah.
created a new account and added me as a friend. I was like, dude, what's going on? He's like, well, my account is shut down. I'm like,
Oh
what?
my word.
Right? So I was like, you
No.
should talk to this friend of mine who has 11 million followers. So he told him just continue to ping support, and they will bring your account back on. But it's really interesting that you mentioned you've got to have an email list. And it's funny that you
Mm-hmm.
say it's kind of old school, but it's not, right? Because we're still checking
No.
our emails. You got to check your emails
Right?
for all sorts of things. Like anytime you book a flight, you get an email. Hey, here's your flight
Email.
confirmation. Here's your stuff, right? So it's important to again use that platform the best way possible. So great one. I mean, I never thought of it from that perspective that to use the ads
Mm-hmm.
strategy to build a lead or build a nurturing or build people who are kind of interested in that same thing that I'm selling or that I'm about. So it's really good to know that that's also another option.
Yeah. And with that too, you want to make sure that I always, like I said, I want to create nurturing campaigns so that my
Mm-hmm.
clients can have something out and they can slowly warm people up to the point
Yeah,
of getting them to a sale. Because entrepreneurs, we want a sale. Of course, we want a
yeah,
sale. But there has to be a process that goes along the way, right? Tiny little touch points, tiny little micro yeses. I
yeah,
would even say with these things, a lot of times entrepreneurs, we like to be like, okay, well, I'm just going to do everything organic, and that's great. And that's fine. If that's you and you're organic and you've cracked the code, good for
yeah,
you. Share it with the rest of us because we would love it too. We just send us a PDF, we will
yeah,
follow it with
yeah.
instructions. But that's the thing with that as well, is once you've cracked the organic code, they like to switch it up on you. It's constantly
Mm,
changing.
yeah,
And the reason that is because Meta is a pay to play platform. If you want your stuff to be seen, you're going to have to pay. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you're going to have a huge budget. You could do it with a very small budget and still,
yeah,
be seen, but you need to pay to be seen. If you're going to spend, countless hours creating reels, creating content, creating graphics, and paying team members and outsourcing things and shooting content for it to be seen maybe by your followers, leaving it to chance. That's actually what you're doing. You're leaving it to chance and
yeah.
praying that the algorithm will show it to your followers or other people. Where with
That's
with ads, by running a organic strategy with a little bit of push. That's kind of what I
mm-hmm.
like to call it. Like it's still organic because we're focusing on creating content, it's content
Yeah,
driven,
yeah.
but we're just placing it in front of the right people. You get to make more genuine connections. You get to truly build that community and let the people who need to see your ads find you.
Nice. I like that a lot. And in a book that I've been reading recently by Gary Vaynerchuk, and you've probably heard of it, um,
Mm,
day trading attention, right? He's all about day trading attention. He's all about creating a ton of content so that not
yes.
only are you maximizing that organic growth, because something that he talks about is put out as much content as you can daily, weekly, whatever it is, because that's going to give you some data points back at you like, okay, which of these contents is performing really well organically. And now that you have
Yes.
that piece of content that's doing really well organically, guess what you can do? You can turn up the volume with meta ads.
Exactly. And to follow on that, I still remember seeing a thing from Gary Vee where he says the only reason he still does podcasts or interviews like this is for the soundbite. He wants
Yes.
those moments. But
Yeah.
how powerful are those moments when he gets to put them in front of the right people? Because
Yes.
we all love his things.
Yeah.
So if we're getting to see it, we're going to share it. We're going to comment
Mm-hmm.
on it. We're going to signal to the platform, this is a good
Exactly.
piece of content and it's already going to do a lot better than if he hadn't shared it with his people.
100%. 100%. I love that
Yeah.
you focused on the value driven campaign. You're focusing on bring value. So, walk us through how you help entrepreneurs build that authentic, value driven meta ads that will resonate with your target audience. I mean, it's almost like the same thing that we just talked about.
No, I can swap it around a bit. So
Okay.
most entrepreneurs, we like to create stuff. So I'm gonna tell you right now, Janaid, we probably
Mhm.
have like a lead magnet sitting somewhere on our computer, right?
Yes.
But I don't want you to think about it as like a boring lead magnet, right? Like what we're trained to do, like, oh, create a PDF, put it in front of someone, let them download it. Nothing wrong with the PDF because,
Mm-hmm.
again, some people enjoy reading. That's a great avenue. So
Yeah.
the deliverable, how you present it to them, is not quite as important. What is important is what you put in it. For me,
Mm.
I like to tell my clients that I work with when someone receives that lead magnet, I want them to have this experience. One solution that they can implement within 24 hours. And then I want them to have that instant dopamine hit like,
Yeah.
that's really good. I'm not going to leave that in my downloads folder. I'm going to actually take action on this.
Yeah.
I'm not just going to like, move this to spam and unsubscribe from the list. Like, I want to hear more from this girl. I want to hear more from this person. You need to trigger that. So what can you give someone to trigger that reply? Is that a walking meditation? Is that an ebook? Is that a PDF? Is it a mini course? Do they need multiple steps? But you need that reaction because you're fighting with so much distraction. So you need that moment of clarity to be like, man, that's really good. Let me see what else she has. Or let me see what else there is as a solution for this. That's what you want to trigger.
You're basically delivering the value on what you promised. And they're like, oh my God, if I get this download, I can find all of the gear that I need. That's going to make me look the same as Junaid or whatever, right? So that could be a download or a freebie that they can get.
It could even be like, to put it to you, we could even get even more niche. It could be like, here's one thing that you can do today to make your videos look better. Yeah. And they go in, and I mean, for you, like you taught me that great trick about like adjusting your mic and your volume. That took me 5 seconds, and I already felt like pretty cool. I was like, wow, okay, cool. That's one thing. The hit was there. Look, I even remembered it, right? Yeah. So now I'm going to go and share it on with other people. And that's what you want. You're like, when you have this moment of, when I have this moment of like, okay, I'm ready to invest and up my game and up my gear. Who am I going to think about? Well, it's Junaid. He gave me this brilliant tip and it worked and he looks amazing on camera. Why wouldn't I go to him?
Yeah.
It's about staying top of mind, right? Being the obvious choice or solution.
I love that. Now, there's many different ways to run ads. There's many different places to run ads. There's YouTube, Google, Instagram is another one, part of the Meta. Talk to me about, what are some of the misconceptions that you've seen entrepreneurs approach digital ads, because some of my posts are performing really well, and it says, hey, you can boost this post. So what's some of the difference between the two?
Okay, first of all, if you take nothing away from our talk today, people, we're not boosting posts, okay? We're not boosting posts.
Okay, good.
Boosting posts, my new favorite analogy, entrepreneurs, we love an analogy, is boosting posts is like going to the casino and playing the nickel machine.
No.
It's nice because it's like little investments and you're like, yay, look at me, I'm gambling. It's so fun. But you're never going to really win at the nickel machine. Where you want to be is you want to be at one of those tables. I don't really gamble, but I watch a lot of movies. So you want to be at the blackjack one. You want to be at the roulette one. You want to be at those ones where the action is, right? The nickel machine is set to fail. That is what that boost button does. And the reason it's like that is because it's so intuitive. It's so inviting with its little boost button and like, oh, it's so easy. I just put $10 and oh my gosh, my ad is being shown, right? But what the problem with that is that it's not running with a strategy, first of all, because most of the time its objective is vanity matrix. It's brand awareness. And unless, you want millions of views, or unless you want people to be able to recall a certain video of yours, that's not what most entrepreneurs want. We either want something super tangible, like a lead, or we want a sale, or we want something like a book a call. We want an action that we can then follow up with, and convert it. That's what we want. We want an opportunity. And video views is not an opportunity for us. Likes is not an opportunity for us. That we don't care about that. That's not going to, move our ROI. So it's important to set up campaigns in Ads Manager, right? Where you have a little bit more control over things like the audience, you have more control over the placement, and you have more control over the tracking. Now, the tracking is a funny one because, it's since iOS 14 and even before that, when the changes were made, it's never been 100%, But it is better to track your actual results on Ads Manager than if you track
Sure.
them on your phone and just by pressing that boost button over there.
Great insights. Thank you so much. I was always, um, I don't think I've ever boosted my stuff, my posts on there, but I was always intrigued. I'm like, okay, I'm going through the process. I'm like, do I really need to do this? What's
No,
gonna
you
happen, right? Yeah,
Yeah. And it's so intuitive. They make it so simple.
yeah.
But here's the thing as well with that. That strategy of running ads is probably like a very quick fix because you may invest your 10, $20, $100, whatever you're going to do, right? And because you don't see long-term return on that
Mm-hmm.
investment, you can't really qualify it. There's no real KPIs in place there. You're
Yeah.
going to say what most people say, well, ads don't work. I tried it. I didn't get anything out of it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not the truth. You
Yeah.
tried it incorrectly. You had no strategy. And maybe again, there were holes in your slide.
Sure.
So you were going to fail either way.
Yeah. So making sure that you figure out all the things before you even turn the faucet on. Make sure that all the kinks are
Correct.
gone. Make sure all the pipe is good. There's no leaks in it. Otherwise you won't be able to water your plants or whatever have you. So very,
Yeah,
very important.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Now, Carol, you are especially passionate about empowering women entrepreneurs. How do you see
Yes.
Meta Ads supporting women in growing their businesses? And are there any
So
specific
I
challenges that they face?
So I would say with that, I like the fact that you can target for a specific group. So if you specifically work with women or with moms
Mm-hmm.
or with like something very specific, ads can help you to target for that, which is always great.
Yeah.
In terms of Meta's involvement with how they uplift women, I can tell you this, I'm not quite sure. But my
Mm.
experience has always been positive because I use it to help my clients who happen to be women and tend to work with other women to fill in those gaps and say, hey, I can help you. For example, I have this great client.
Yeah.
She helps women who are over 40 find life after 40, right? Now they're done with like being moms and they've probably reached the top of their career. What's next?
Yeah.
Then they meet someone like my client and it's like, oh, wait, life doesn't stop yet. Like I'm just beginning. And then
Yeah.
they reinvent themselves, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's making that connection and being able to have a platform that allows you to do that I find so intriguing.
Man, I love that so much. Now, what an amazing way to do, focus and use again the ads manager to focus on, hey, I just want to show this ad to women, or I just want to target this specific audience, Gen Z, Gen X, whatever have you, so that you
Yeah.
can get the right kind of feedback. And I think something that Gary mentioned in the book is like you create different cohorts, and you could be posting on different types of content on the same product, but for different cohorts or different types of people. So you kind of like have different
Yes.
personas, and now you're defining and designing those ads for those people.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You want to create like when we create campaigns, I always say to people like when you run ads, you don't have to only run ads to one specific person.
Hmm.
But you do have to run your ads with one specific person in mind because you want them to see themselves in the copy. You want them
Yeah.
to see themselves on the landing page, in the emails, in the other touch points that you have with them if you have events, because that all makes it easier for they not to be resistant, for them to say yes,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, since you're often working with entrepreneurs who are growing their businesses, let's talk about productivity and content creation. Now, if you could make enhancements to your workspace or studio, what changes would you make to improve the way you connect with your clients and build your brand? It's kind of like a left turn question there.
No, that's a good one. Well, I have a standing desk, and I would say I never really use it. I have one, but I sit a lot. I think it would be helpful for my clients if I was more out and about, I'd probably be a little bit more creative and I'd
Yeah.
probably have more energy.
Yeah.
That's probably something I would change in my given space. What else would I change it? Well, I would love to have as crisp a camera as yours, but that's
Mm-hmm.
another conversation. We can have that conversation.
Yeah.
That's something I would love as well. With content creation for clients to, can I just go back to the question?
Of
It's
course. Yeah. Yeah.
creating, how can I create more content for,
Yeah. So
could you just
talk
rephrase that?
about productivity and content creation, and if you and for small businesses, how would they,
Okay.
get more clarity from your content?
Okay, great.
Is that right?
One thing I will say on that, now I got it. Thank you, Janae. One thing I can say is most people have the best content already sitting in their newsfeed, right?
Mm,
So I'm not one good to preach and say, hey, let's start from zero. Let's create, let's do this. No, I mean, you could, it's probably fun. But
mm-hmm.
what is probably sitting there is your best content. What I would say is see what has performed well and see how you can create another version of it. See if you can stay in that niche, stay on that topic, stay in that style. And also, fun fact, that content that's performed really well will probably perform really well as an ad
Mm-hmm.
because your audience is already used to you or seeing you in that format. They're used to commenting when you
Yeah.
say comment the word blank and they comment, right? Or they're used to sharing your thing.
Mm-hmm.
So most of your best content, if you want to know how to be more productive, go look at what worked. That's what you need to create more of.
Yeah.
Simple.
I love that so much. Thank you, Carol. This has been really mind opening for me, especially in understanding, focusing on the ads manager, making sure that the entire flow of the customer journey from them seeing your ad to signing up, or, even if they were to sign up to be part of your community or part of your messaging, the different touch points,
Mm-hmm.
it's important to test all of those things before you turn on the faucet.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right, so let's take a quick break, and when we get back, you're going to share with the audience 3 implementable hacks that they can implement and optimize their meta ad campaigns. So I'm just going to hit pause. Welcome back, guys. You've been listening to Junaid here from Hacks and Hobbies and Carol Kabaale on the podcast. Now, you have told me that you love actionable insights that you can apply immediately. Carol, could you share 3 practical hacks that entrepreneurs can use to optimize their meta ad campaigns and build better connections?
I love that. So, how about we focus a little bit on an example, right? So, insert your thing here, but for the purpose of this example, I am going to use a book, right? So,
Awesome.
let's pretend you have this book that you want to share. The first way I would probably promote it is before the book even launches, I would create a wait list. And you can create 2 types of meta ads that go to it. The first one is to a cold audience. Now, that one is less likely to get people to sign up, but maybe if you're enticing them with what this book solves, they're more likely to join this waitlist.
Yeah.
The second one will be to your existing list and be like, hey, did you know I'm doing this? Of course, you can hit them with an email campaign, but it's kind of sets a little bit of an authority figure like, oh my gosh, he has a book now. She has a book. This is pretty cool. So it gives you that little bit of, okay, I can't wait till this comes out. So that's the first thing I would do. Once the book launches itself, you can host a whole bunch of events around the book. One thing that I've actually done with clients in the past is we have hosted masterclasses or workshops around key chapters within the book. And then what we do is in those events, maybe we'll read from the book or we'll talk about the exercise and people will go through it. And then we refer to it obviously from the book. Now, we can promote, again, those events before with ads to make sure that we have the best attendance, not only to our warm list, but also to people who will benefit and may buy the book by joining the event. You could give them an incentive and say, hey, if you come to this event, you might get, a coupon or you might get something, to buy the book at the
Yeah.
end of it. And the last actionable step with the book example in mind is that I would say running ads if you are going to have at any point a sale or when you have just launched the book. Now, especially
Mm,
if you're doing like launching via like Amazon and things like that, you want to push people there so like it can rank, right? So it can rank
yeah.
higher. You can get that bestsellers thing. You want those
Yeah.
things to happen. You want people to leave positive reviews. So you can run campaigns. You
Mm,
unfortunately shouldn't run it directly to the Amazon link,
of
but you can
course.
sort of run it to a page, to a landing page that you can control and say like, hey, if you've already bought the book, click here to leave a review. And then people click there and they're redirected again to the
Yeah.
review, or they can click here to purchase the book and they can either purchase directly from yourself or they can again be redirected to join something like Amazon.
Man, those are some powerful tips. I definitely need to use some of those for myself because I've got a book launching later this week. I had one launch last week. I just didn't promote it, right? So I was like, hey, let me just finalize the publishing. Everything is good. See the
Mm-hmm.
printed copy, and then I can start, do a launch strategy and everything around that.
So there's
Thank you
the
so much.
great part about that, Janae, is like it
Hmm.
doesn't matter whether you've had this book for sitting for a while or it's brand new.
Okay.
Most people maybe haven't heard of it. Like
True.
I'm sure there's people in your email list who opened that one email ages ago. They
Yeah.
don't really remember that you have these
Mm,
books, right? They don't really remember. So you can build that hype again. And especially if you give the book a little bit of an its own little personality. So maybe you build its own website for it
sure.
where people can go and get additional resources or they can learn more about it, or there's like a
Hmm.
members area. Again, with that, from the book, you can direct them to, once again, give you your email, and then you can like get additional resources and things
Yeah.
like that. And from an ads perspective, you can run ads promoting the resources that are listed in this book,
Man, I
especially if
like
the
that.
book is free.
No, that's a really powerful way to again promote. And I do have resources like throughout the book, like hey, scan the QR code to get additional resources. So now I'm capturing their emails and they're getting the downloads as well.
Yeah.
So excellent, excellent idea. You got to keep talking about it so it's top of mind for them. I mean, I get daily emails from
Ex-
people all the time. Like, why am I not posting it?
exactly. Here's the thing, like I said this to someone the other day, and like it's so true. Like people will buy or people will take action when they feel that it's relevant to them, right?
Yeah,
We've all heard that. Like we can't you can't say to Carol, Carol, buy this book today. I'm like, Janae, I don't know if I need that book,
yeah,
you know? But if you keep showing it to me, I'm like, I'm either gonna get irritated and be like, FOMO, I need to see what this book is about,
yeah,
or I'm gonna be in a situation where life is gonna be like, oh man, if only I had that book. Wait, where did I know that?
yeah,
Janae, let me go
yeah,
see the book.
yeah. No, I love
Yeah.
that. Thanks so much, man. All right, Carol, we're towards the end of the podcast, and our last segment is the fun 6 questions, where we get to
Ooh,
know you a little better. So the first question
fun.
is, ready to go, Carol? What
Yes.
is the one hobby that you wish you got into?
I think it's either gonna be what's the snorkeling, like swimming, or I've always wanted to do
Snorkeling,
that.
deep diving, yes, something like that. Okay.
Yes, like being in the ocean, being
Yeah.
free. I want to have my Moana moment. I just want to like be in the water, be free. This year,
I like
fun
that.
fact, I've
Yeah.
actually I used to swim, but then
Hmm.
I had this terrible experience in Zanzibar where I was nearly like run over by a boat, but that's another
Oh my
story.
God.
And I actually got this fear of the ocean. And the last 6 months, I've actually been going to lessons to relearn to swim and get over that trauma. And now I feel like, yeah, I could do this. I could actually
Mm.
go and be in the ocean and have my Little Mermaid Moana moment. I love that.
I like that. I'm very terrified of the ocean because I don't know how to swim. I mean, I know how to swim. I don't know how to
Mm.
float. It is really like weird. Like what? You don't know how to float? But
Can I tell you, you're not
yeah,
alone.
please.
In that class where I was, there was
Yeah.
like three men and they all struggled to float. I think it's a man thing. Maybe your
Mm,
guys is, I'm not a scientist, but maybe your bones are heavier. I don't know. But they really struggled. And all the
mm.
girls, we just took to it like it was normal. I was like,
Wow.
I don't know what.
We
So
I
I don't
guess
know. Might be some
we have
science.
denser bones. Maybe we have denser bones. Who knows? All right.
Maybe, but you
Hey,
got this.
I got this. All right. Let's next up. What did you want to be when you were a child?
I always actually wanted to be a doctor, but I'm glad
Mm.
I never was. But I always wanted to be a doctor. Child of immigrant parents, raise your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Doctor.
um,
Yes.
which really intrigues me because you're now the meta ads doctor. Like you know exactly,
Oh, there we go.
right?
Maybe my parents can see it that way. I like
There we
it.
go. Hey, I'm the meta
Dr.
ads
Carol.
doctor. Like
Yeah, it's got a nice
what?
the ads doctor. I like it. Yeah, sounds good.
All right, Carol. Next up, what is your favorite movie or TV show?
Honestly, that's a hard one, but I love anything animation. I think you heard with my references. I love a good
Hmm.
Disney movie.
Yeah,
And when the sadder they get, the happier I am. So, so I love movies like Bambi, I like
sure.
Wally,
Mm,
I like all these sad movies where you're like, oh no,
yeah,
Nemo, Finding Nemo. I'm just
yeah.
there like, oh, it's so sad. And I feel happiest.
No, I agree because it lights up our emotional banks, right? You're filling up your emotional banks. And I think the latest
Yes,
Inside Out 2 movie was really powerful.
that
Like
one was
towards
very
the end, I was
cute.
like,
That one
holy,
was
it's
It's so
ridiculous.
smart how they do the emotions, right? In that movie.
Yeah.
Like how they have like anxiety and they
Yeah.
have like embarrassment. I'm like, this is so clever. I love it.
Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. All right, next up, if you could play a character in any movie, what would it be?
Character in any movie. Hmm. Do you know what? Just for fun, I'd choose a Marvel movie
Yeah.
and I'd probably choose Thanos because I'm a pretty good person. I'm a great person. But I don't want to be a bad guy. Like if I
Yeah.
had to, like, how fun would it be? Snap. It's all gone.
It
I
did
don't know.
take him a
That could
while.
be interesting.
Yeah.
Like, it's very
Yeah, I mean,
unexpected. Why not?
no, absolutely. I mean, and then you might get your head chopped off in the next movie by Thor.
You know? And then I come back again and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, why'd you bring me back?
Yeah.
It's like, what's wrong with yeah.
That's a cool
Yeah,
one. I like
yeah,
it.
yeah. Multiverse is a fun place to live. Yeah, yeah, that could be
Yeah.
me.
Well, Carol, next up is who is your favorite superhero?
Superhero. Hmm. Well, my husband really likes Batman. So I'll go with Batman. But personally, I mean, the guy just has money and like fancy gadgets, but I'll go with Batman.
And I think anybody who has money can technically develop fancy gadgets because if you look at Iron Man, you know, same thing. He had money, he created, but I think there's also that moral pull towards
Compass.
doing something good, right? The purpose and you know, eliminating
Yeah.
evil and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was listening to what's his name now? This philosopher from Canada, and he's talking about you know the more traumatic experience you've had, the more religion you need to seek because
Wow.
trauma is an experience that you know only good and evil can help
Mm.
resolve. Like holy
It's
smokes,
sort of
it's really
like
powerful.
I like the way he said that. I would probably change it to like the more trauma you've been through, the more healing you need to find. And I
Yes,
think that that in itself, religion is a great way, but there's so
yeah,
many other tools that you can
yeah,
also use to heal. So,
hundred
but I
percent.
love that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
very accurate. Definitely.
All right. Last question. If you were a board game, what would it be?
Monopoly. And specifically, I want to be the little Titanic ship. I want to be that piece.
The boat. We're
That's my
back on.
favorite
We're
piece
back in
in
the
the whole
water.
game. Yeah, I want to do that.
I
That's who I
love
want
it.
to be. Yes.
Well, Carol, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. You've provided some amazing insights into how entrepreneurs can leverage meta ads to build authentic connections with their audiences.
Thank you so
Um,
much, Janaid, for having me. This has been really, really fun. I can't wait to maybe do it again.
Awesome, awesome. Now, before we wrap up, is there anything else you'd like to share with our listeners, and where can they learn more about, and where can they learn more about you?
So they can find me on all the socials. My name is just Carol Kabaale. And if you are interested in running ads and you want to see, like, am I ready to run ads? Is this something I should be doing? You can head over to my website, which is carolkabaale.com/quiz. It will be in the descriptions, in the doodly doos. Follow all Janaid's places. And there you can take a really fun quiz. It's literally only 2 minutes, and it will tell you if you should be running ads today before you go and spend your money.
Dang, that's a really powerful quiz. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Carol, for that tip.
Thank
And
you.
we'll definitely, share all the links in the show notes so that you can get to the quiz. And guys, that's
Amazing.
a wrap. And guys, that's a wrap for today's episode of Hacks and Hobbies. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, keep learning, growing, and building authentic connections that drive real success. See you next time. See you in the next episode. This is Junaid on Hacks and Hobbies, signing off.